Hi guys, welcome to the first video on Tkinter, which is part of Python. I'm just going to start up my idle itself. Oops, I can't spell. Here we go. I'm using Python 3.2. So we've started the shell up. Now I'll just say that I'm not going to teach Python because there's plenty of great videos on YouTube already about Python, but this is how to set up and create GUIs using the Tkinter module within Python itself. So to start off with, I'm not going to do a lot of this from the shell. I'm just going to create the file for it, so at least you get a feel and a see and be able to see the actual file itself. So the file itself, I should say. So by going File, New Window, it creates the new window here, and we'll just pop that across on the top of the shell and not worry about that too much. Okay, to start off with, we're just going to do our standard imports. Now, the initial import is the import sys, but the next import that we need is actually Tkinter itself. So, using the from Tkinter, import and then star for all. Now we will be adding other libraries to this later on, but for the moment Tkinter import all is enough. Before I go any further, I will just do as a save as copy, or a save as I should say, and I'm just going to pop this on my desktop for now. When I can find my desktop, it's back here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so we'll just pop into there, and I'll just put YouTube 1. Okay, and not forgetting, which I nearly did, is to put your .py at the end, or else, especially in this, what happens is you lose all your highlighting and color coding on your program if you forget to put the py on. So we've got our import Tkinter. Excuse me. Initially, now what we have to do is to create an object out of tk. So we'll call it mgui equals and capital T K and our brackets. Okay, now just beware that on some of the older versions of Tkinter, some of the capitalization has changed. Okay, and you'll see that further on. So if you are using 2.7, I believe, if I remember rightly, the T here on the Tkinter has got to be capitalized. One of the changes that they made in 3.2 is to change all the case sensitivity down a little bit and bring it down to lowercase. So we've now created our object of mgui, and we now need to set up our window. That's the first thing that we're going to do, is create our window and create it to the size that we want. So by using our object mgui, and if you hit the dot, sometimes it takes a little while, but you will get your list up to show you. But we want geometry, and open your parentheses, speech marks or the single quote mark, either or, it doesn't matter. And then we've got to put the size of our window in. So just to make it simple for now, we'll make it 450 by 450. So it's 450, and then use your X button by 450. Now you could close the parentheses now, or close your quotes and close your parentheses, and that will create your window. So we'll just do that now. I'll just run the module. Okay, to save it, and here we go. Now notice in the window it's hit the bottom corner here, and we've got our little window at 450 by 450. I can drag it around, that's fine. But we may want to change the position. So if you go back in to where you've put 450 by 450, if you put then plus 200 and plus 200, what this is doing is it's giving you the first 450 by 450 is your X window size and your Y window size, and then the plus 200 is giving you plus 200 from your top left hand corner and plus 200 from your top left hand corner down. So that's the XY coordinate of your screen. So again, let's just run the module and notice now that the window has appeared here at 200 from the top left hand corner and 200 down. Okay, so now you can fiddle around with this. We can change that to 500 by 500. Doesn't have to be the same numbers, by the way. It could be anything you want. It's just an XY coordinate. So there we go. It's down here a little bit. Our Y was a little down, so let's put that to about not 3,000, that's for sure. 300. There we go, and it appears roughly in the middle. Notice that I didn't close the last program down, and it does allow me to create more than one window running out of that program. Okay, and I've done it again here. You see, I've got so many of them, unbelievable. There we go. So that is initially how to create your window size. Now, for some of you, you've probably noticed that I haven't added my GUI oh, one second, phone. Right, sorry. My GUI dot main loop. Now, on a Windows running machine, you'll need to put this in. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure about Mac. I think you could probably get away with not using it on a Mac because it's Unix based again, but I'm running Linux on here at the moment, so I don't need to put that GUI in. Now, the reason I say this is I'm going to put the two next to each other, and notice that every time I've run the machine, the shell has run and then it's come back up with the triple red arrows here. I'm going to close this down. Notice that when I hit my return, if I run that module again, I get an error. 3 of the arrows didn't appear on a new line for me. And what's happening there is that the shell is still running, because I get those errors, and there we go. There's my error. And what should happen is I should get these 3 arrows appearing here to say that the shell has completed doing this job. But what's holding this up is in Linux is that this main loop is continually running and the shell is still running it. Later on in future videos, we will be looking at how to stop that doing this in Linux itself. But for the moment, we don't use the main loop, but in Windows you will need to use this, and you will not get the faults that we're getting running under Windows as we are running it under Linux. So just remember, if you're a Windows user, you must put this in regardless, and if you're a Linux user, for the time being, you don't have to. But if you're going to build a project that's going to be cross-platform compatible, then you'll need to put all of this in there. For Linux users or Linux users, to get out of this, just close your shell down. That'll kill it. I'm going to put in a hash just to comment this out, and I will put here only window users for now. Okay, just so that you guys know about this later on. And if I run the program again, I've saved it, it'll run it and it'll bring up my new shell, and if I close this, it's fine. Okay, and I can run it a second time without any error. So just beware that this is the main loop that keeps the window running, but it's only necessary in Windows at the moment. We don't need it in Linux. Okay, so let's have a quick look at some of the other things that we can do with a window. Again, we've got to use our object mGUI dot, and we can use, let's change the title. There's our little box come up. So let's put our title in. Oops, I missed it. Let's My fingers are not working well today. Here we go. Title. Open the parentheses again, and it's simple, a title for your window. So we'll put in my YouTube Tkinter. Okay, and we'll close the single speech marks and our parentheses. Let's just run that module. And here we go. There's our title, my YouTube Tkinter. Okay, so we've got basically our screen formed, we've got it positioned, and we've got a little title in there as well. Okay, so there we go. That's a quick introduction to creating a simple window excuse me, by sizing it. Don't forget either your quotes or your single quotes, double or single quotes need to be used, and how to add a title onto that screen or onto that window. And again, I just reiterate, you may need to use, if you're a Windows user, mgui.main loop. If you don't use it, what will happen is your little window will appear and then immediately disappear. You need to use something to keep it running, whereas in Linux we don't. And if you do use that in Linux, then you will almost not crash your shell, your Python shell, but what you will have to do is close it down and restart the shell up. Okay, for now, I hope that's been helpful and useful. We'll be doing a few more videos on how to create labels and buttons and various other objects on your screen. But for now, take care, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.